Hey, what's up? This is Brandon Simmons for brandonsimmons.biz. This is my weekly video blog called Bullheaded, a review of the Houston Texans news, as well as a preview of the upcoming game matchups. So, this week, the Texans are going to be on a short week, and not because they're trying to grub down on some turkey for Thanksgiving, but they'll actually be playing the game Thanksgiving Day against the Detroit Lions. The second time in franchise history that they will be playing on Thanksgiving Day. They previously played the Lions on Thanksgiving back in 2012, but we'll get into all that in just a few minutes. First thing I want to do is recap a little bit of the game against the Patriots, which they won 27-20. So, great game overall, obviously. Pretty impressed with the way the offense was ran on Sunday. Aggressive play calling. Off the get go. They were able to attack downfield a little bit more than I expected them to, and also that energy as far as like with the play calling and just the aggression overall trickle down into some of the players. You seen them making some big plays as far as stiff arms go. I mean, you even seen Deshaun Watson run over a player just to get into the end zone. So big ups to them for just coming in with that aggressive energy and just playing above their record, as I mentioned in the last episode. As far as the defense was amazing. Probably one of the highlights of that was they were able to hold the Patriots under 86 rushing yards, and that was one thing. Excuse me. Uh, excuse me. That was one thing that just really stood out to me. Considering how our run defense has been like all year, and that was another thing I mentioned in the last episode that it has to start clicking now. I mean, they're not going to turn into a dominant unit overnight, but just small little victories here and there. Um, I think it really helps out that they were able to like just hold that team down under that many yards and just take that running game away from them and force them to throw the ball. Now they did give up some big plays in the passing game. I will say that. I think Cam Newton had like close to 300 something yards or yeah, over 300 something yards, but when it came down to it, when it mattered the most, he really couldn't make those throws, and it forced them. And really, it forced them. Uh, it started their running game to the point where he had to throw, so they couldn't move the ball, running it or whatever, and so they couldn't get points. So they fell behind, and yeah, the Patriots had to throw the ball, which is not really their strong suit, to be honest with you. So kudos for the Texans for doing that and creating that burden on them. Kudos to the defense for creating that burden on them. 2 sacks on the day, and it looked like at times it was hard to like get pressure on Cam, but at the end of the game, again when it mattered most, they really came through and clamped down on them. Lonnie Johnson and Justin Reed making a huge play at the end of the game to force the turnover on downs, and so overall great day for the defense. Hopefully that they will repeat that, which goes into which goes into some a couple of keys that the Texans got to do to win the game on Thursday. So, as I mentioned, this is the second time in franchise history that they will be playing on Thanksgiving Day. Um, the first game, classic, uh, and this one kind of has a little bit different feel to it. Both teams are, they definitely having down seasons. Detroit, they're 4-6 right now, and trying to scoop up their little playoff hopes together that they can. Same thing with the Texans, 3-7, and they're stuck between like, is this a down year or is this going to be a year that we just kind of come back? Is this a down? Yeah, is this a down year or is this a year that we just kind of come back from and save the season? So with that said, the Texans are kind of riding high. To be honest with you, they won a game against Jacksonville earlier this month. Um, they unfortunately they lost to Cleveland, so that's 1-1 on the road trip. They came back home. They got the Patriots, so right now they're sitting at 2-1 for the month of November. They can definitely make this 3-1 against a team such as the Detroit Lions, what I just said, as I just said, they're having a down year as well. Shoot, their coaches pretty much on the hot seat right now in his third season. So um, the first key to this game, and I only got like two of them for the night, for this week. But the first key to this game is going to have to be finding pressure on the quarterback. So Matt Stafford, he's like in the top 10 as far as like quarterbacks sacked in the league. Um, he's Sunday he was sacked 5 times. A couple weeks ago he was sacked 5 times, and Sunday was like the fourth time this season that he's been sacked at least 4 times. So that's not an onomatopoeia or whatever that you gotta memorize, or a tongue twister that you gotta memorize or anything. But that is a key stat, just signaling that this Lions team, they got a little issue. They got some issues, obviously, with the O line. So it's definitely going to be, and I'm pretty sure they figured that out by now. Going into week 12, they're like, okay, we got some things to patch up. So with that being said, it might not be so easy as like you can rush 3 or 4 and you can get to the quarterback as for a sack or just hit him. They might have come up with a couple of things to kind of patch up different holes here and there. So the best thing that you're just gonna have to do is just keep finding pressure. Just mix up the pressure. Uh, Send blitzes from any way that you can, and pretty much just get to the quarterback. Just find ways to get to the quarterback. That's going to be very key in this particular game, especially with a quarterback like Stafford. He's a gunslinger, so you don't want to get him comfortable. Get him comfortable throwing the ball down the field and hitting different receivers or whatever. You want to make sure that you keep him uncomfortable in that pocket and keep him out of rhythm. Um, One of the other things too about Stafford, apparently he has a right thumb injury coming into this game. So if it's going to be very important that you kind of get up in his face and just force him to make the uncomfortable throws, especially if he has to, especially if he does have a thumb injury. He's probably going to have trouble holding the football from the beginning. So it's best that you find ways to get into his face and have him throw like awkward, uncomfortable throws. That'll disrupt his rhythm, and not just his rhythm, but the entire rhythm of the offense. Next thing or second thing that needs to be done is take advantage of the low ranked rushing offense that Detroit has. Right now, they're sitting around 29th as far as running the ball. And listen, I know the Texans, they had their issues when it comes to running the ball, whether it's defensively or offensively. I think in this case, that the defense, takes advantage of like, trying to, I guess, either stop the run or either force them to run. It's gonna really, it's gonna really give a boost to that defense. So I would say, as far as them stopping the run, just knowing, even though the Lions are 29th in run offense, just our defense being able to like make stops on that and see them make stops on that is going to give us confidence. It's going to give that unit confidence to perform well in other areas of the offense. Perhaps it'll inspire a little bit more effort in the for the pass defense and all the other stuff. So I think definitely just making those stops on their run offense would be crucial. And another thing is something I probably left out as far as like Sunday's game. Just make part of them, stopping this run offense is just getting tackles in the backfield. There was quite a few tackles at last Sunday, or this past Sunday. There was quite a few tackles that they missed, like in the backfield, whether they just didn't wrap up well or they just completely blanked on them. So that'll definitely be a start in this particular game, just to see this unit get after these guys in the backfield, get some tackles for losses, and just kind of take it from there. To be honest with you, so those are my two things, man. Find pressure on the quarterback and disrupt the rhythm of him as well as the offense, and also take advantage of that low-ranked rushing offense. To continue to dominate over them and let that energy fester into the rest of the defense, other aspects of the defense. I mean, so that's all I got for you today. I'm Brandon Simmons for brandonsimmons.biz. If you're watching this on Facebook, like my page, facebook.com/BrandonBlog. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube, youtube.com/BS713. I'm Brandon Simmons for brandonsimmons.biz. Holla black.